Hey everyone, and welcome back to the San Francisco Wine Trading Company. I'm Jason.
And I'm David. Jason, I'm hungry, man. What are we doing tonight?
Well, again, since it is the holiday season and with Thanksgiving coming up, I figured I'll put out some recipes. A nice simple one that the audience could try at home.
Cool. And for me, eating is really just an excuse to drink. So I could probably put together some good pairings.
Nice.
And what are you going to be making?
I'll be making the Prosciutto Cup.
I'll pick out some good juice. I'll be right back.
Now again, with the Prosciutto Cup, we'll utilize puff pastry, our very nice mustard, prosciutto of course, and some cheese. Well, first you guys would need an oven. Actually, hold on, come with me.
Alright, and welcome to my kitchen. Now, again, for the Prosciutto Cup, let's get started. And of course, ingredients. We need first puff pastry, oops, have it upside down here. The Pepperidge Farm puff pastry sheets, you could definitely find it in the freezer aisle. Secondly, we need our prosciutto. Here we have the Principal San Daniele coming from lovely Costco. And speaking of which, sliced cheese. Here we are using the medium cheddar. Now, what you want to do is take out your puff pastry sheets. You'll get two, of course, coming in the package, and make sure you clean up after yourself too as well. Ooh, and don't forget food safety, so take off that ring. You definitely put it on again later. Now, you'll get two sheets, and you'll probably get 4 cups per sheet. Ooh, and don't forget, preheat that oven to 400 degrees and get it ready to go. Now, for the sheets, make sure that you take a rolling pin and flatten it out just a little bit. What you want to do is get rid of those creases. Doesn't have to be pretty, it could be rough. And on to our first ingredient. Well, for the first ingredient, we have our mustard, and make sure you put it in a single layer. Again, you could definitely use other ones, but we really like this mustard. Now is the time to actually add your pepper, your honey, your other accents to this to enhance your own recipe. But of course, we'll stick with just the 4 ingredients here for the Prosciutto Cup. Next, of course, we need our prosciutto. Put it down on a single layer. All right, nothing more, nothing less. As too much will probably block everything else too. But after that, your 4 slices of cheese and spread it evenly like this. All right, and of course, now that you have that, take your sharp knife and run it through. You want to cut 4 hopefully equal pieces here. And wow, look at that fantastic knife work. My hands look kind of fat. Anyways, there you go. You have your 4 pieces. Now you could actually fold it up and put it in your cupcake tin. All right, and speaking of which, be sure to spray it with your cooking spray so that it doesn't stick. And you don't want to skip this step because you really don't want it to break apart and anything else too. Now here, all you have to do is take your piece, crimp it up almost like you're making wontons, of course, but you're not pinching the tops. And yes, I know it looks a little rough. All you have to do is plop it in, but don't worry, that's all you need. Now, pop it into a 400-degree oven for 25 minutes, and now is definitely a good time to grab yourself a drink. Here, I have the Nika Days, which is a blended Japanese whiskey. It's quite nice, little honey notes, little smoky, but there you have it. Definitely a good drink while you wait. Ooh, and here it is, it's done. After 25 minutes, all you have to do is check to see that it is done. What you want to do is, again, pick it up a little bit. Be careful, it is hot. Like there, I kind of burned myself. But what you want to look for is the bottom part is golden brown and delicious. Now put it aside, wait 5 minutes, and your patience will be rewarded. And here you have the Prosciutto Cup. Of course, demonstration of cutting it in half and again pulling it out. Nice, all the cheese is melted. No, definitely is not going to be mozzarella where you get that stringy cheesy, but again with the cheddar you get a lot more flavor. And here you have it, the Prosciutto Cup. Here you go, David. Enjoy.
Awesome. Thanks for the handoff, Jason. This looks delightful. A few of my favorite things: cheese, puff pastry, prosciutto. And just as I thought, my pairings are as fabulous as I am. We're starting with the Casa du Mouraz. It's Encruzado is the grape, coming from the Dow in Portugal. Ralph. This is $26.95 on the shelf. Many people view this as the best and most noble grape in this region. You might even call it Encruzado. It's slightly floral, mineral driven. Kind of reminds me of Chablis with a little bit more aromatics. This is biodynamically farmed from a grape producer, and it has a slight savory elements, which I think pair really well with the Dijon mustard, the cheese, and the prosciutto. So if you're cruising for a delicious bottle of wine, you can definitely get down with this. Our next wine is from Lusenti. This is Ralph. 60% Barbera, 40% Croatina. This is made in a similar style to Lambrusco. So it's a red wine, it's dry, it's slightly sparkling. Barbera and Croatina, they ripen at different times. So they're fermented separately, then blended together, and they undergo a second fermentation in stainless steel. The wines are then aged in the stainless for 4 months before release. So it stays really fresh, red fruited, and is just easy drinking. I like this wine quite a bit. I would put a little bit of chill on it. So if you're seeing red and you want to get fizzy with it, this is your go-to. $18.95. And we're going to finish with one of my absolute favorites, Ralph. This is Marcel Lapierre, a producer in the Beaujolais, coming from one of the best villages there, Morgon. This is $33.99 on the shelf. It's a natural wine. A lot of people ask, what's a natural wine? There's a lot of different definitions, but I think the core tenets of the natural wine camp are farmed without fertilizers or pesticides, native yeast fermented, not fined, not filtered, and minimal to no sulfur. And he's been making these wines since it was cool to do that, not because it's a trend, but because it's an ancient and the best way of producing the wines. This is not to be confused with a Beaujolais Nouveau, which you're going to be seeing a lot as the month goes on. These are really serious wines that can go toe-to-toe with their cousins in Burgundy. So the final thing I want to touch on is, I get a lot of questions regarding that, is we have a couple wines here with the wax corks, or wax covering the cork, and there's a lot of questions on how do I open this. It can be intimidating sometimes, but don't be shy. You know, fortune favors the brave. Grab the worm, dig right in. They make these so that the cork will break the wax on its way out. And it's, yeah, a pretty killer lineup. Hey, are you done? Let's grab a glass of wine.
Yeah, cool. How'd it go? Not bad with the pairing? Tasted okay?
I crushed it, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Harvest joke intended.
Well, as always, check out the links below for our featured products, as well as the recipe itself. And of course,
Follow us if you like.
And subscribe for our future episodes. Cheers.